Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome to One More Round, the show where I talk about Counter-Strikey stuff. It's basically a podcast in disguise. This time the footage is from Arms Race, because the topic is Arms Race. Such a sad tale, the rise and fall of a beloved game mode. Back in the olden days of Counter-Strike past, there was a modification of the game called Gun Game, and the basic idea was that each player had to progress through each weapon in the game, until finally getting to the knife level. The first player to pass the knife level won the game. It was a fun, casual way to play the game that was highly popular and spawned many iterations. Like Monopoly, there are many house rules, and some versions included a grenade round, some versions had different orders of the weapons, and over many iterations, fans found a formula that worked, that provided the best experience. Along rolls Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and imagine the excitement when the community learned that Gun Game would be an official game mode. That opened up so many possibilities. Would Zombie Mod be an official mode? It certainly was announced as being such. Would Assassination Mode see a return? We all eagerly awaited the next age of Counter-Strike, where at the click of a button, we'd be put into a fun, exciting, challenging game mode with the superb shooting mechanics that Counter-Strike is known for. What we got was Arms Race, Valve's version of Gun Game. Originally, it wasn't that bad, but it had the potential to be great. The whole system of different game modes had the potential of being awesome, and I thought the first 4 game modes, Arms Race, Demolition, Casual, and Competitive, were just the tip of the iceberg. Counter-Strike has such a rich history of fun, creative mods and game modes that could really be capitalized on. The real kick to the head came with the Arms Race update, which changed the rules drastically for the worse. Valve took a page out of Bad Game Design 101 and effectively blue-shelled the game mode. The player in first place now showed up, and still does, highlighted through the walls, which basically gave wall hacks to every other player in the game except the player in first place, not only making him or her a massive target, but making it far more difficult for that player to get any kills. It feels like you're being punished for playing well, and it's infuriating. I understand the reasoning behind it. It's the Nintendo philosophy. Mario Kart is not designed to be competitive, it's designed to be fun. It's designed to be a party game, which seems counterintuitive for a racing game, but consider the target audience is 8 years old. Now, I can't speak for anything past Mario Kart 64, because that's the last one that I played. In Mario Kart, players in first place are the target of the spiked shell, which homes onto them and deals the highest penalty of any other item. Players in further back positions have a higher possibility of getting better items. Ever wonder why the player in last place keeps getting that stupid lightning bolt? Even the AI players get speed bonuses in order to always catch up with you, no matter how good you're playing. The whole game is cleverly designed to keep everybody at the same area on the tracks, which are huge. The tracks are large. They try to make it so that everybody is sort of at the same little area. It's the Nintendo philosophy that this will create a more entertaining experience, and it definitely does. They succeed in that respect. This kind of thinking does not belong in Counter-Strike, and it's killed a fun, casual, beloved game mode. There are many other ways to accomplish the same effect without making it unfair, without making it infuriating. Good game design is naturally balancing the game instead of giving a massive disadvantage for being in first place and for playing better. Even Call of Duty did it better by having the first place players show up on radar. I still don't like that solution. I think it's kind of the same thing, but it's not as bad as being visible through the walls. There is an elegant solution, just sitting there, just waiting. Here's my suggestion, which both accomplishes the idea of balancing the game mode so it's fun for everybody, as well as not punishing players for playing well. You don't want to disincentivize players from playing well. That defeats the purpose of a game. My idea is to balance Arms Race through weapon progression. Start out with the easiest weapon to get kills with and move downward towards the most difficult. To determine this, simply use the price of the weapon. Logically, the most expensive weapons should be the easiest to get kills with, and the least expensive weapons should be the most difficult. This way, if someone is ahead in the game, they have to use a pistol against a rifle, or a submachine gun against a Negev. They have to be much better than their opponents to progress, and the players further back have an easier time catching up. At the end of the day, it's fair, because every player has to progress through every weapon. This, in my opinion, would save Arms Race, which, as it is right now, isn't only not fun to play, but maddening to play. It's infuriating. Every time I play it, I have a bad time. They could go completely in the opposite direction, too, and this would work as well. Let's say you win. Instead of shutting off the server and cutting it off at that point, how about allow the players who won to play it all over again without armor? give them a huge disadvantage. Give the players no armor on their second time through, and then have them start at the beginning and just have it play until the time runs out, and whoever's the furthest ahead after the time is over wins it. I mean, that's another way to go about it, and that way everybody's having fun the entire time. Another suggestion is to get better maps. Now, I'm not saying the maps are bad, I'm just saying that they could be amazing. The maps as they are seem designed for gun game and they work fairly well, but Valve hasn't taken advantage of the highly motivated, creative fan base that Counter-Strike has. Why not include an incentive to create arms race maps? Include community-created arms race maps into the game. I've seen some very clever gun game maps. I really think people could come up with some awesome stuff. I understand that my skill level is higher than the vast majority of players, and I don't speak for the vast majority of players out there who try arms race. But if the game sucks when you play well, why would anybody want to play well? It defeats the purpose. If you're doing well, you get punished for it. You feel like you're being held back for being good, which is just plain bad game design. It doesn't make you feel like you want to play better, especially for a game like Counter-Strike. I still feel like Counter-Strike has far more potential that hasn't been reached yet, as being a game that is not only great as a competitive sport, which it already has achieved, but also fun to play casually, fun to play with friends. That's the kind of thing this arms race mode and any other possible game mode, the whole custom game mode, the whole game mode system should accomplish, but at the moment it really does not. Thanks for listening to my idea. I'm TheWarOwl and I still have no closer. Mr. Bones!